Welcome. Alicia Molik prepares to do battle here on Australia Day. Welcome to the second Wednesday of the Australian Open 2005, the third of the women's singles quarterfinals. Alicia Molik, what a day for her. The number 10 seed has been playing out of all recognition this year. She's unbeaten, 12 wins out of 12. But now the day of reckoning against the number 1 player in the world, the number 1 seed, Lindsay Davenport. It'll be live for you here on British Eurosport and Eurosport International. And what a day we have for you. Following this, it's Andy Roddick, the number 2 seed, taking on Nikolai Davydenko. And then at 7:30 our time, 8:30 in the morning, Leighton Hewitt, the number 3 seed, takes on David Nalbandian. It's very, very hot. It was a very close decision whether or not to close the roof. That comes in at 35 degrees centigrade. I understand the temperature outside right now is 34. It's burning hot. And Alicia Molik hopes to provide the tennis to match it. And then lovely to see a smile like that. And Lindsay Davenport, all business. They've met 3 times before. Lindsay's won all 3 in straight sets. Simon Reed alongside Joe Jury to take you through this. It's a fascinating battle in prospect here, Joe.
It is, because I was so impressed with Molik the other night when she beat Venus Williams. I thought she was full of confidence. From the very moment the match started, she started with an ace and really never looked back. So I think Lindsay Davenport is going to have a very tough match out here today, and I think she may be a little surprised at the standard that Molik's going to come out with.
Well, I remember coming down here even last year, and everyone was bemoaning the fact that Australian women's tennis was in such a state. It was badly run. There were no players coming through. And now look, she'll be in the top 10 in the world, whatever happens here on Monday. She's reached her first Grand Slam quarterfinal, and she's bidding to become the first woman since Chris O'Neill back in the 70s to win this.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of pressure on her. I mean, everyone is waiting for her and Leighton to win this event. Wouldn't that be great? And on Australia Day today, there's probably even more added pressure. She will obviously have to play at her best to beat the number 1 in the world, but her confidence is sky high.
Oh, it was such a big bonus for her to beat Venus the way she did. Venus kept coming at her a couple of days ago, but Molik held firm and amidst a frenzy won a match that you thought was as good as anything you've seen.
It's the highest standard match I have seen for a long time. Every single point, more or less, was won, not lost.
Andreas Egli in charge here. The crowd's still arriving. Celebrations all over the city. Parades. Had a fly pass at noon, local time now, just gone 1 o'clock. But all the expectation is on Molik here this afternoon and on Leighton tonight. Just to confirm what we have for you right up here, Lindsay Davenport against Alicia Molik, and we follow that. Chris Bradnam and Fru McMillan will be taking through Andy Roddick against the surprise package of this tournament, Nikolai Davydenko. But he was all out in his last match. He said he couldn't have gone another game. And we just wonder how he'll be against Roddick, but that should be some match. And then it's Leighton against Nalbandian. So the improvement in Molik's game has just been amazing, and it is in the end down to self-belief. I think she got caught up with all the criticism that was going on, and somehow, somewhere along the line, she's risen above it.
I think she has. I've seen her last 5 years. I've seen her out there on the circuit, and everyone knew she had a big serve and a big forehand, but it was too erratic, and she didn't move as well as she needed to. And she's changed all of that. She's fitter, she moves faster, and she's improved not only her consistency but her backhand.
Lindsay, the winner of 7 tournaments last year. Indeed, at this stage last year, we wouldn't have been seeing Lindsay in 2005. She was going to retire, and then somewhere along the line she started winning match after match after match, and she thought, well, if I'm playing this well and I'm moving up to number 1 in the world again, why don't I hang on in and try and win one more slam? That's her goal for the rest of her career. She's won 3, But quite surprisingly, perhaps, her last win was in the Australian Open here 5 years ago. She hasn't won one since.
No, and it is very surprising. And I think with the injuries that have been on the tour, that she feels that her tennis is as good as ever, and why not have another go? That's all she wants, is another Grand Slam.
And Alicia Molik in her first Grand Slam quarter-final. Winner of 3 tournaments at the end of last year, Stockholm, Zurich and Luxembourg. And this year's kicked off in sensational form in the Hopman Cup. She won all 3 of her singles matches and then went to Sydney and became the first Australian woman to win the Sydney title since 1980. She's the first Australian-born woman to reach the quarter-final here since Anne Minter in 1988. Of course, Jelena Dokic got to the quarter-final here in 2000. She wasn't born in Australia. Lindsay in her 12th main draw appearance here. First started 12 years ago. Quarter-final or better in 7 of her last 10 visits. And amazing year last year. 7 titles: Tokyo, Amelia Island, Stanford, LA, San Diego, Cincinnati and Filderstadt. And champion in 2000, where she didn't lose a set en route and beat Martina Hingis in the final. Winner too of the 1998 US Open, the 99 Wimbledon title, and here in 2000. Olympic gold medalist in Atlanta. And you can see it's filling up fast. There will not be a green area there unfilled once this match gets underway. So there are 3 meetings. Wimbledon 2001, it was 4-2 for Davenport. Amelia Island last year, 6-4, 7-5. And then in Filderstadt, on hard courts, Lindsay won, dropping just 1 game. But Molik is a player in a different league now than she was then.
And also, you have to remember, all the other foreign players are coming down here after Christmas and New Year, and they've got the heat. They're not used to it, not used to the courts. And Alicia Molik's been down here for a couple of months, living at home, of course, and training, so she's very used to everything, and that's given her an advantage, that's for sure. One of the best serves on the tour. Lindsay's got a pretty big one, but Molik's action is really lovely, and her second serve, once it hits the court, it bounces really high. Even Lindsay will be taking it at head height.
Well, she was put under enormous pressure by Venus Williams, but came through it. Davenport's just dropped the 1 set on the way through to the quarter-final against Mikhaila Pashtikova of the Czech Republic. And Alicia Molik has gone through without dropping a set. Chance to talk to Lindsay now about the kind of threat that Alicia represents.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely is a more aggressive player. You know, comes to net, likes to volley, serve and volleys. I think that, you know, the one-handed backhand she volleys, has a good backhand volley, and she's aggressive. I don't know if she can do that against the firepower of a very hard hitter consistently. You know, it's one thing to do it against some other players, but at the top of the game, they're pretty precise and pretty hard balls, and to do that for 2 sets, we'll see if she can do it.
Interesting that Lindsay should say that. Of course, there was a lot of firepower going on in the last round against Venus Williams. She came through that pretty well. But Lindsay, perhaps a more consistent hitter.
Yes, I think that Venus does give you a few points here and there, but I have to say, Simon, that match really was of the highest quality. So Molik's got through that one, and I think she'll be relishing this one.
Will she stand up to the pressure? It's enormous here, suddenly out of nowhere. There's all this expectation on her. Leighton Hewitt, we've seen him weighed under by it time after time. And Alicia Molik really hasn't been at the races before in this tournament. And suddenly here, she's in the big time, massive big time. Got to the last 16 last year, did Molik. Her best ever Grand Slam results. Here she's in the quarter-final, and everyone's talking her up. I've got a feeling this is going to be another cracking match here. So here we go then, the third quarter-final in the women's singles. Alicia Molik, the number 10 seed against the world number 1 Davenport. And it's the Molik serve to be investigated first up.
Ready? Love of tea.
A few groans of disappointment. It's the other side of the court from us, difficult to pick.
That was the one shot I thought that let her down against Venus Williams, was trying that forehand down the line. Too often it slides into the tram lines.
Incidentally, the fourth quarter-final, Natalie Deschia of France and Patty Schneider, has just begun on the Margaret Court Arena. We will not be giving you the score of that, because we'll be playing it out in its entirety later on. So bear with us. If you've got internet access, you know what to do. AustralianOpen.org and follow the results. If, however, that match lasts longer than this one, and there's a substantial amount of it still to go, we will go to it live. Other than that, we'll follow up with Roddick and Davydenko. Straight away, 2 break points for Davenport, looking imperious.
Yeah, she's going to the Molik backhand so far, because it is the weaker side. That's interesting. The tactic working time and time again there for Davenport, and she breaks very convincingly. Yeah, sorry. That's the most aggressive I've seen Lindsay all week, and the least aggressive I've seen Molik.
Well, she knows there's a threat. It's interesting, the mindset of Lindsay. I mean, she's beaten her out of sight 3 successive times, but she'll be very wary of the improvement Molik's made. And yet, I guess there's something of your 3 easy wins that stays with you.
That, yes, I think, and Lindsay will use that in this match. Well, Molik definitely looks more nervous this match than the last one against Venus Williams.
At the moment, it's a stroll for Davenport.
It's great timing from Davenport already, these first couple of games.
Smooth as you like. The other factor, which I don't think we've emphasised enough, and we're in an air-conditioned box here, and there is a fair amount of cloud cover, the slightest of breezes, which I don't think is permeating inside, but it is very, very hot.
Yes, and much more humid today. I've been sitting down there in the match before just to see what it was like. It's really stuffy.
She needs a solid service game here. Listen to the roar greeting that point. It's getting so much reward going on that backhand.
Well, that's what Molik's got to do, to try and open up Davenport side to side.
Yeah, Molik, you can see looking to protect the backhand, and Lindsay knew that.
Well, however well Molik's hitting it, she's not hitting it away from Davenport. And Davenport is doing exactly that.
And the backhand is in danger of breaking down completely here. A break point for Davenport for a second break and a 3-love lead.
Yes.
And the serve saves her. Fastest serve for her, 108 miles an hour, and her first ace. Just got out of trouble there. And had to run round the backhand to do so.
She only just made it and actually created quite a good angle in the end, but it was a bit lucky.
Yeah, the roars tell you she's on her way. A little late, but only a certain amount of damage done. Davenport leads 2-1. As Molik in the press conference was saying that she does have a plan B these days rather than just a plan A. It would be fascinating to know what that is. So what about her improvement, Molik?
I haven't beaten Lindsay before, so like I hadn't beaten Venus today. It's going to be a good matchup. Lindsay plays such a big game. She's a clean hitter of the ball. She's very good at moving the ball around and has a particularly good serve. So, you know, again, if I'm on song like I was today, I feel like if I create a few chances, if I create a few opportunities, then you know, I feel like I can definitely, you know, put myself in a position to win. So it's much the same as today, you know, play my own style of tennis, play my own game and see what happens.
Yes, that's more like I expected, although in other areas she was talking about a plan B, and I don't quite know what that is. She has a very strong game, but it seems to me perhaps a little one-dimensional.
Next to the well seat for the moment. Thank you.
Davenport then 2-1.
Any seat for now, please. Thank you. Players are ready.
Yeah, Alicia isn't the fastest around the court. She is faster than Lindsay, but of course she doesn't strike the ball quite as hard as Lindsay.
First double of the match. Just can't get any rhythm on that backhand at all. 3 on 4 stares, it says on the caption for the stats, but I think they're the Aussies who are doing them. Oh, Lindsay. And Molik very lucky to take that point. Again, no rhythm at all.
No. She's planting her front foot, and the ball's not quite where she thinks it is. That's why she's mishitting it. But going to the slice is probably the better option at the moment.
Bad miss for Davenport. Her 4th unforced error.
For service.
This has been a poor game from Davenport.
30-40.
And out of nowhere, Molik has been gifted a break point. Now, can she take advantage? It might make a huge difference in this match if she can get a break here. Well played in the end. Still no rhythm from the back, but somehow she's got the game. Davenport will be, I would think, furious with herself that she's led her back into this match.
Absolutely, because she started much the better of the two, and that was a very lax game from Lindsay. 2 double faults in it.
And the crowd suddenly feeling a lot better. She was beaming with smiles when she came on court and was so confident against Venus, but it's understandable that she would start as nervously as she has. But Davenport's giving her time to steady herself. And that's an important shot. Her first winner from the back.
Well, again, she used the slice first of all. A couple of slices down to the Davenport forehand. Lindsay came in on not a very good ball, but that's going to give her confidence.
Quarterfinal.
See Lindsay struggling with the heat a little bit. Just keep having to remind yourself how hot it is out there. First double for the Aussie.
Totally off balance, fell away from the backhand.
Well, it's not pretty at the moment from either player, but Alicia Molik has come back from a really horrible start to lead 3 games to 2 in this opening set. But oh, Lindsay.
No, you would have thought she would be too experienced for this.
Now a chance to talk to Davenport.
Hopefully. I mean, you know, at this point in the tournament in a Grand Slam, you've got to get better or you're not going to go farther. And I realized after my first 3 rounds, wasn't doing some things as well as I wanted to do. So I went out there and worked on some stuff and practiced a couple times and felt like I made some very big improvements and hopefully ones that'll help me go farther in this tournament.
Well, not many improvements at the moment. It's very disappointing from Davenport, and she's got the crowd going. Look at them now. A few of them singing the Advance Australia Fair, which has been played all over the city at various times today.
Yeah, great support for her. But yeah, I think disappointing from Davenport because she started well and was quite sharp.
Any seat for now, please. Thank you.
So 1 break each at the moment. Davenport looking up to the heavens. She cannot believe how she's playing. I wonder if the heat is getting to her. It does frazzle the brain sometimes.
It really does. It's very humid today, which is unusual in Australia, and now the sun's come out. But that's the 3rd easy forehand that she's missed in the last 2 and a bit games.
When they do land, those Davenport forehands are humdingers.
She expects very high things of herself, especially after playing so well last year.
Match started with Davenport teeing off and aiming down that backhand side of Molik.
Yeah, she's slower to move to that side as well. So if you can get her on the move, forehand then to the backhand, very often all she can do is slice.
Well, she has looked the better player in this match. Has dominated proceedings, but has made so many errors, which is why it's 3-all. But I thought of Davenport as a pretty comfortable winner, I have to say, before this match started. I still think so, but well, you commentated on the Venus match, yes, and I didn't.
I thought Molik played as well as she ever could against Venus Williams, so whether she can reproduce it today, so far we have seen nothing near it. And the way Lindsay started, I was thinking this is going to be quite easy for Lindsay.
Really sound play from Davenport, her best rally really so far. Molik's backhand was holding up better then.
A little bit better, but you can see her charging across. No balance in her movement. That is a lovely shot from Lindsay. She makes it look easy because this actually was quite a low bounce. That backhand is a beautiful stroke.
Still nowhere near consistent enough, not the kind of form that won her those 7 titles last year and took her to #1 in the world again. There's a screamer from Molik. Quickest serve so far, 117 miles an hour out wide.
Huge. She just releases so well. That racket head gets through.
Second ace. Very unpopular call, but out it was, and here's break point for Davenport. 1 out of 2 break points so far. A simple half-court ball and again an error.
You would think she would put that away every time, and you can see from her reaction she can't believe it.
Even quicker serve, 118 down the centre. Good stuff. It seems incredible, but Molik is in front now. And Davenport has got to work really hard to turn this rather dismal form around.
4 games to 3, new balls.
The Aussies starting to believe now that Molik can continue in her quest.
But that kind of forehand is what we saw the other night from Molik. That it was the kind of rally that she was doing time and time again, and even off her backhand side. And we've been talking about what pressure is on Molik, but perhaps we've underestimated the pressure on Lindsay. If she really wants another Grand Slam, then this is the type of match she's meant to win. So there might be a few little nerves jangling for Davenport too.
She sometimes is a slow starter. We've seen it already in this tournament against Mikhaila Pashtikova. Dropped the first set there against the Czech, ranked 99 in the world, and then blitzed her in sets 2 and 3.
I think slightly different here because she went 2-love up, and I actually thought she was seeing it really sharply, moving well, and more or less in control.
Plenty of cloud cover, but it's still burning hot inside the Rod Laver Arena. So new balls, 3-4. Well, after the encouragement of what Davenport's given her, that didn't do her a lot of good. Unforced errors now from Davenport.
Yeah, again off that forehand, shaking her head.
How close was that? Molik thought it was long, inserted a few hundred along the baseline, but we're looking at it with rather biased eyes. But Andres Egli not wanting to get involved. Let's have a look here. Might have got the back of the line. Very close. Very, very close.
Well, that wasn't much help, but from the flight of the ball, I actually did think it was going to go long, and maybe Molik just misjudged it.
To endorse the feeling that Davenport's on top here, she's won 5 more points, 26-21. But the important thing is it's still 4-all on the scoreline. Some ironic cheers.
15. 15 all.
Yeah, there's not much rhythm between them at the moment. They can really feed on each other.
It's funny, all the women's quarterfinals so far have been disappointing. I thought yesterday was
Yes.
rather an anticlimax. Obviously, Maresmo's injury didn't help things at all, but
No.
it was a non-event, really.
It was horrible, yes. I'm sure she didn't enjoy it at all. That's yet another miss hit from the backhand side of Molik.
With a massive serve, 116 miles an hour. Levels things up. And there, one even quicker. Quickest serve so far, 120 miles an hour. And even Lindsay can't serve that big. Third ace. I think that is plan B. When she gets in trouble, she hammers the serve harder.
I think it could be.
Ooh. She's not getting a lot of luck with the margins. I think it was a good call, but just drifting away.
So one thing she did against Venus Williams was serve exceptionally well. Even on the second serve, sometimes she was putting in almost a first serve pace for second serve.
Well, this is her best serving so far in this match. Oh, Davenport got doubly lucky there. Chronic miss hit, and then he was lucky that Andreas Egli was as alert as he was to the flight of the ball. Well, it was a decent serve, but no better.
No, and really, Davenport's right. She should have dealt with it. I'm sure Molik will love to hear those type of shrieks from Davenport.
Left for service.
Second double. And that was a big second serve.
More often than not, they come off. But she's bound to miss a few.
Now, will she be brave here on second serve? And if not, will Davenport be? It's out. Must have been so close. She's not getting much luck at all in this game. Boy, that must have been close. Let's have a look. This should give us a very good idea. Yeah, it was out. But everything just going a fraction wrong for her. And it's break point Davenport. Yes, you can see how frustrated she is. In many ways, that was her best game. Served pretty well. Double didn't help, but by and large, there was more from Molik there. But Davenport played okay, got lucky, and now can serve for the set.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a match that's nearly in the zone where they're both playing well, but it's not quite happening. As you say, Simon, some of those line calls, I mean, they were right, but when you just miss like that, then you start sort of asking yourself questions, you know, am I going for the right ball? And I don't think still Molik's getting it quite out the middle of the strings. So she's kind of fighting against it. She's fighting to make something happen out here. Whereas Lindsay kind of goes in and out of the zone. She times it beautifully for a bit and then misses some horrors.
Yes. Yes, and when you do feel you're getting them on the strings and then they're missing by half an inch or an inch, it must be doubly frustrating. Especially as she looked like she was getting back into this set, and now, well, she's broken once, but you'd have to back Davenport to hold here.
Yes, I would. I mean, with her experience, and you really feel she should get this game.
So here we go, after 35 minutes, Lindsay going out to serve for the first set. That's where most of her reward has come, that side.
And for once, Molik getting hold of that second serve.
So 15.
It's a third ace for Davenport.
Better work, and maybe it's not too late.
Well, Davenport gave her another forehand, and that's where she loves to attack from.
Not quite. Again, Davenport going that side. But Molik was alert to it and had a sneak of a chance then, but here's Davenport with set point after 39 minutes. Third double fault. Still first serve percentage from Davenport way down, 48%. But set point number 2.
Game and first set then.
And as good a serve as she's produced. Her 4th ace. A roller coaster of a set. And generally not of the highest standard, but Davenport did enough in the end when she got the second opportunity, and she closes it out 6-4. The stats don't make very pretty reading if you're an Aussie. Look at that. Molik needs to work on her first serve percentage. 16 unforced errors, a lot of them on the backhand side. Quite a few early on when she really did look rather desperately nervous. Has got better, but then dropped that crucial 9th game. She was a little unlucky, and that was the decider, really.
It was, yes. And she definitely looks more nervous than the other night. She just looked brilliant against Venus Williams, and was on fire, really. It's the best I've ever seen her play in a match, and maybe this is one match too far, but she's fighting her hardest, and somehow she got herself back into that first set. And yes, I thought she was very unlucky to lose her service game, but she's somehow got to get more forehands. She's getting stuck on that backhand every time, not fast enough to get over there. Her serve isn't firing as well as it was the other match with Williams either.
Not too many highlights in this first set, but most of them coming from Davenport. That's her only backhand winner, and that had the help of the top of the net. 1 forehand winner, 3 each side for Davenport from the back of the court, plus those 4 aces.
I mean, obviously Lindsay can play better too, so if she raises her game, then Molik really will be in trouble.
Well, she has found some amazing self-belief in the last 12 months as Alicia Molik, and she needs to draw on it now amidst this furnace here on the Rod Laver Arena. Temperature around 34. That was the backhand that she was producing earlier in the tournament. The best shot, really, of the match.
Yes, she got down to that one well, and the ball was in the right position, followed right the way through.
Davenport listening rather than looking where that ball landed. Good serve. She's starting to unleash on the serve now. I think the serve earlier on, 121 miles an hour, makes her the 3rd fastest server in women's history after Serena and Venus. I think Serena with the record at 127.
Yes, that's right. Venus at 126.
Something like that, yeah. Much better serving from Molik, and maybe she can take substance from that.
Well, you know, she's got to serve well. She's got to get it going in more consistently. She needs to get it up there to about 65%, because it's right down in the 40s at the moment.
Things starting to happen now for Alicia Molik. Now it's she who's just inside the lines and Lindsay just outside. That was pretty close, maybe just got the outside of the line.
Well, good recovery from Lindsay. She put in a very solid first serve. And that's the one yet again, a miss hit.
Yeah, there's no doubt which side Lindsay was going to approach on.
Well, they both got very good service actions and they get up to the ball. Lindsay at 6'2".
Yep. Now, why did she go that side? And she's had so much success going to the backhand.
14-30.
Well, she knows after she hit it, it was a bad decision. It was not wide enough.
Good reply, though. She opened herself up well, Molik up well there. Just going back to the serving. Maria Sanchez Lorenzo of Spain, the third fastest last year, 1-2-2. Molik 1-2-1 at the moment. Serena was the fastest last year, 1-2-6. Venus 1-2-5. I think Venus has a 1-2-7. I think it's Venus with a 1-2-7.
Yeah, Lindsay thought that was on. Even a smile after, it's unusual. Yeah, there's a bit of wind now.
Yep. Suddenly got up. It was windy earlier on, then it died, and now it's back with us. But windy or not, she's been missing that backhand. Fifth ace. Second of this set. Just there looking at her entourage. David Taylor, her coach. Second time he's overruled, and both times against her.
So she will begin doubting everything now. And you have a feel for your shots, and she obviously thought that was going to be good.
point. There's a chance for Lindsay to get a vice-like grip on this match here. She thundered down that serve. 117 miles an hour. The danger averted for the moment.
I like the way she's looking for the second shot as well. She was already up the court to attack it.
Third double. Second break point. Clever. Davenport pinning her back there, forcing her to run round in the end. And that's probably Davenport's best game of the match so far. She breaks to go 2-1. Already a set up. So we said that Molik has improved out of all recognition. Asked her what was the reason for that improvement.
No, I guess for me, I grew up with a lot of the I guess you could call it the Hennons and Clisters and Mosquina and Dementieva. I grew up playing juniors with those girls. So if anything, they were inspiration, and they were, I guess, yeah, they definitely drove me to try and become a better player. These are girls that I all grew up with, playing juniors at different levels in different years. And, you know, when one gets through, you always think to yourself, well, why not me? So... but I guess my motivation comes, you know, from myself. It always has. So, but yeah, it helps that your peers and people you know are doing fantastically well, because it definitely is something that you can draw on.
Well, she moved up from 100 to 35 in 2003, and then right up the rankings to now, number 12. And as I said, on Monday she'll be in the top 10 in the world, first Aussie since Wendy Turnbull 20 years ago. But she has to play better than this if she's to give substance to the dreams that she has, and so many have for her, of winning this tournament this year.
Well, maybe with a little help from Davenport, still putting in some loose shots.
Lindsay twice getting it just inside the line and looked off balance when hitting the ball. I think both calls or non-calls were right.
Yeah, I think they were right too. I think now Molik is looking for calls. It's nice to have a crowd on your side, I guess.
And you never tried to influence an umpire when you were playing.
Would I?
see the looks now. I think 10 umpires have died as the result of your looks.
There's a few more than that, Simon.
Davenport really going that side now, more and more. Just going for a little bit too much there. Yes. Now then, big point in this match. She broke once in the first set. Can she do it again? She broke exactly at this point.
Put everything into that shot, twisting around.
Davenport going in for a very expansive double, and the flags below us being waved.
Well, again, Davenport gives her the last point on the serve. Molik, there's signs of her getting going, but she's stuttering. She can't be consistent. The amount of time she hit that shot against Venus Williams, that cross-court one, was so damaging, and yet she keeps missing it on that sideline.
Super serve. Still below 50% first serves. 47 at the moment. 48 rather. Davenport 55. Ooh, very close. No arguments this time. Calls beginning to come in her favour.
Again, she got stuck. That front foot goes right across her, and the ball hasn't arrived when she's done it.
Oh, yes. Well, the weight is right on the back foot, but still she gets enormous power through the ball.
Yeah, she projects all the weight on the back, but then it does go forward through the hips as well, shoulders.
Yeah. Big hitting on the forehand, and Molik moves in front. So far the sets have a very similar look about them, but Molik will hope that this is where it ends. Chance now for Lindsay to talk about Molik's game.
Well, I think she has a big game. She's always had a big serve and a good forehand. I think she just wasn't consistent enough or didn't know how to put the two shots together. I think she's worked very hard on that. But it's always great to see a player get better in their 20s. They don't have to be 16 or 17 or 18 to be so good. And she's obviously worked extremely hard to make the next jump. And I think it can be tougher to do in your 20s than in your teens.
Yes, and she's done it at an age when the teenagers seem to be taking control. Sharapova, Kuznetsova, and all the other youngsters coming from Eastern Europe. But Molik from Australia has made as big an advance as any at the top flight.
I can't tell you how hard she has worked to get to this standard. I mean, sometimes she still looks a little bit awkward with her moves, but yeah, that can still be improved. She's one of the fittest out there on tour.
Lindsay taking advantage of every spare second and then some. It's good to see leniency as far as the speed of play is concerned from the officials here. Lindsay did well there because she got a little bit caught up, but a nice little flick on the half volley. Lindsay stopped as soon as she saw where Molik was placed.
Yes. The net cord just held it up and there was just no way of getting it.
Really super angle from Davenport there.
14-15. Game. Davenport, more chance, please.
Another really clever serve out wide. Davenport starting to up the ante on serve now. Dropped just 5 points when her first serve's gone in this match.
Well, Molik really has just got to try and hang in here, put as good a service game as she can in and keep making Lindsay have to catch up.
I don't think the sun's as grueling today as it was yesterday. but still very, very warm. Yeah, the backhand working better then.
It's actually a much improved stroke. And the players have been talking about it. They're very aware of it, but today it's not been at its best. There it goes again. She's hitting more, but still the odd one is going out that sideline.
No holds barred there. 117-mile-an-hour serve. And that got a real wallop. Oh, Lindsay. Looked very casual, didn't it? I'm sure it wasn't as casual as it looked. Well, you'd hope not. And Molik goes in front.
4 games to 3.
And 4 games to 3. What a miss that was from Davenport. Still not really at 100%, but it's enough at the moment. So we're going to move across now to the Margaret Court Arena and the match between Natalie Deshie and Paddy Schneider. And Schneider has taken the first set. Here's how she got it. Here's set point. Schneider, the number 12 seed. Deshie of France, the number 19 seed. Deshie on serve. Schneider, who got to the semi-final last year. Taking first blood here on her way to her second Grand Slam semi. Paddy Schneider of Switzerland has set up. But I can tell you that early on in the second set, Deshie has just got a break and leads 1-love. It's with serve. 1 break each in this second set. Crowd warming to Molik's efforts in this second set. She's playing better. Still room for more improvement.
15 off. Off.
6th ace for Davenport. Yeah, good footwork. Lindsay going for the body serve. It wasn't quite that.
Yeah, Molik just skipping around. She gave herself loads of room to hit it.
This is really good serving from Davenport. little extra power from Davenport, but the rallies are more even now than they were in the first set, where Davenport always looked to have the whip hand, making a lot of errors, but they're more even now.
Yes, they are, and Molik has certainly got her forehand to fire a bit better. She was not behind that last one, her movement wasn't good enough, but here we go again. She's got to make sure of this service game.
Yes, it was at this point in the first set she was broken, and Davenport went on to take it.
That's nice movement around the ball again. If you give yourself room like this, that means you've got both ways you can go, and your opponent will find it hard to read the direction. Amazing when you get a few more first serves in. Certainly get an easier one back.
Yeah, she's up over the 50% mark now for the first time. 51%. She cracked that second serve. 106 miles an hour. A fourth double. Too good.
It's the old 1-2 again. Great first serve, and here's the forehand. She balances well, flings herself into it.
So the first set pattern isn't reproduced, and Molik goes in to the lead now and forces Davenport to serve to stay in the set rather than serve for it, as she did at this stage in set number one. It's a fascinating struggle. Now she can take into a third set. Mental resilience, fitness, conditioning in this heat will prove to be crucial.
Well, it'll be tough for the pair of them. I thought that Lindsay might try and up the stakes in that game, try and go for it, but she really didn't have a chance. And now the pressure is a bit different, because Alicia can have a swing at some of these serves, so Lindsay now has to go out there and get a lot of first serves in. Looked tense, I think, the whole way through. Just the last few games, she's swinging a bit more freely.
Yes. She's a little lucky that Davenport's off her game. She's not awful. There were periods in the first set when she was, but she's not really the true Lindsay. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
So there's still time, and the improvement in Molik's game in this second set is added to the time. If she can take the second set, the third might be very good indeed. And she looks ready, doesn't she? 4-5.
Well, that was another slight miss hit on the backhand side from Molik. She was lucky it went in.
Poor start to a crucial game from Davenport.
Very wise to go with the sliced return, though, there, Molik.
Must have missed by a whisker, but certainly not one to be overruled. Fifth double, and here are 3 set points for Miss Australia. Davenport's action looks all over the place at the moment. You could see that coming. And that tells you all you want to know. After an hour and 16 minutes, it's a one-set decider here on the Rod Laver Arena. So Davenport goes. I guess the heat rule is in operation here. Davenport's gone. Molik will go too. And I think we will have a 10-minute intermission. They haven't said that yet.
No, they haven't said it. They both look like they're going to change their clothes anyway. And that more or less takes nearly 10 minutes.
Yes. Certain amount of latitude, I'm sure. There's the bare stats. Another set which was, to be honest, a little disappointing, but you have to bear in mind, the temperature here, which we can't overstate, 34 degrees when the match started, maybe slightly less now, but we're not aware of that. And of course the importance of the match, even for someone like Davenport, who's been there, done that, won 3 Grand Slams. This is a big match.
It's huge, because she keeps saying she wants that one more Grand Slam. But the winners from Molik, they've gone up to 14, and Davenport's have gone down to 4, and that was a huge swing, I think, in that set. Molik was taking control of more of the points.
Some of the highlights from this second set. But some real gifts for Alicia Molik. Don't want to take anything away from her, because she did play better in the second set. Much more positive, much freer. But boy, Davenport really, she went into meltdown at the end of that second set.
Yes, I mean, you picked it, Simon. That serve looked very dodgy in the whole of that last game. She completely lost her rhythm. Oh, the crowd are abuzz, aren't they?
They sure are. Flags being waved right in front of us, Australian flags. And the heat rule is in effect. There will be a 10-minute break. And we're going to switch over to the Margaret Court Arena. Natalie Deshee against Paddy Schneider. And the score is Natalie Deshee 3-1 up in the second set. Paddy Schneider took the first set 7-5, as you saw with us earlier, but struggling in the second set.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the heat.
It's 40-30 on Schneider's serves. Schneider of Switzerland, the number 12 seed. Deshee of France, the number 19 seed.
It was a bit peculiar.
Did seem to keep very low.
Yes, I think there'd be more of the wind out here on this court, swirling around.
Yes, it looks like it, doesn't it? Good shot. Yeah, I was talking to Jürgen Höttger, a German colleague who's the manager of Paddy Schneider, and he was hoping for a very hot day. He got that, but then they saw the wind, and they weren't too hopeful of that. In fact, they were hoping that the match would be played indoors, because she doesn't like the wind because of her excessive topspin. But they wanted it outdoors for the heat, because they feel that Paddy is as fit as any player on the tour, and they wanted to make that count. The conditioning came into it, and it probably will now if this goes 3 sets. They feel that she's got it, but Deshee's got a point here for a double break. And looking very good indeed, Deshee.
Deshee leads 4 games to 1.
So it's 4-1 in this second set, and Schneider with it all to do again. Schneider, who got to the semi-final last year, was beaten by Kim Kleisters. Likes it here, got to the last 16 in 97, 98, 2000 and 2003. And Deshie, who got to the last 16 here last year, she likes this surface too, here in her first quarter-final.
There's just so much at stake for the pair of them. I mean, Schneider's defending all those points last year from the semi-final. She loves playing down here. She loves the heat. And there's Nastya Deshie, who is into her first quarter-final of a Grand Slam and could be in a first semi-final. I just think that it's going to get very tight when it gets close to the end of the match.
Yes, the wind is there, and we understand from the forecast that the wind is going to be more prevalent as the day goes on.
I think it's a bit mean to put these two out here on this court for such a huge match. You can see it's very sparsely attended.
Yes. Paddy's supporters who've come all the way from Switzerland, paid their way, and she feels very responsible for them, and she certainly gave them a good run last year and again this. Won her 9th career title in the Gold Coast tournament a couple of weeks ago, but struggling in this second set. 4-1 Deshie. And she can go up and down like a roller coaster, can't she? When her form's in, she can look a world beater, as she did in her last match. Elena Dementьева from a set down. A really formidable achievement. Tie-break second set. She held firm there and then played exceptionally well in the third, won it 6-2.
Oh, it's tremendous. Can come out with just about everything, Patti Schneider. She can hit it hard like this because the timing is brilliant, but she's got all the spins at her disposal.
And again, Deshie in the round of 16 beat Anastasia Meskina, the French Open champion, 6-4, 6-2. It was an undistinguished performance from Meskina, but still a fantastic win for Deshie, her biggest of her career, of course. So both with a lot of confidence. And Deshie has a lot of support to contend with.
Oh, great timing. That's the thing that Deshie does very well. She stands sort of on or around the baseline area, doesn't like to back off too much, leans into her shots.
Deshie on a roll right now. And a game away from this second set. The heat rule will presumably be in operation here. But we're going to switch back now. Keep you updated with what goes on there. But the players back on court on the Rod Laver Arena. An hour and 16 minutes old. And here we go in for a one-set decider. Molik, I think, will be a lot more relaxed than when she came out the first time. It's going to be Molik to begin. Players have time to have a shower?
I think you can just about fit one in if you're very quick.
Thank you. Final set. Molik.
Oh, that's a super lob from Lindsay. To be honest, she showed more touch there than at any stage in the match so far.
Yes. Surprised we haven't really seen Alicia come charging to the net. Not sure it's such a good idea.
Remember, Molik was broken early on in both the preceding sets, in a first service game in the first set and a second in the second. She finds some vulnerability on the Davenport backhand. Fifth double from Alicia Molik.
That was a loose shot from Lindsay.
Well, if you just joined us, Davenport all over the place, particularly on a serve at the end of the set. Don't know if it was the heat getting to her, but she seemed all out of kilter. A chance for Molik to go in front for the first time in the match here. Moving with great purpose, the Aussie. So Molik moves in front, and signs are that she has given herself a bit of a pep talk. Would you have had a chance in that 10-minute break to talk to her coach?
No. In a heat break, they just have to go and change, do whatever. And I think yesterday that when Sharapova went out, her dad followed and was trying to chat to her. Something went on there, but you really aren't allowed to.
As Lindsay does, footfall, brings that back foot up. Very close to the line. Is that a third successive double?
Yes.
Two just before the break, one now. Don't believe this. Her serve is just breaking down completely.
Never seen this before.
Great stuff. Big, big backhand. She's seeing her opponent wobbling, and she's really getting onto it now. Just shot of David Taylor, a coach. That was a cracker.
It was perfectly positioned to take it as high as she did. Look at this. Hops into it.
3 break points.
15-4.
Is Davenport wilting in this heat? That was out, says around 300 or 400 Aussies. Was it? Certainly looked very close. Andres Egli keeping stum.
But also Molik didn't react at all to it. She just kept on, didn't even question it.
Big point here. 3rd break point. Lindsay out of jail, but for how long?
Well, it's a good job she's getting some more serves in. Alicia is really after this serve, if it's a second one.
Was more like it from Davenport. Immense power on that double-hander.
Well, credit to Davenport. Terrible end to the last set and start to this service game, and somehow she's pulled herself around.
Just creamed it. One step and bang.
Well, she knew where it was going to go. Second serve hasn't been particularly great from Lindsay. Alicia's already standing there to go for it.
So careful with that second serve because of the 2 doubles. That was only 82 miles an hour. Given the treatment, here's break point for Molik, her 4th. That's a terrific second shot from Davenport, right to within a couple of inches of the line. Hanging on.
She is hanging on, but another good chance by Molik on a second serve. Don't know why she didn't go for the same angle again. It was a better serve.
Well, it's a compelling battle. It's still not tennis of the very highest order, but compared with yesterday's quarterfinals, it's a competitive match and
Yes.
very much in the balance. Good hitting from Davenport. She has got her head together after what must have been a very dispiriting passage with 4 successive double faults. Well, it's been a long game, but that was her 3rd double in the game.
It's just the most amazing mixture from Davenport today.
9 doubles in total. And there could be a lot more. Well left.
But then she puts in a good one and follows it up really quickly in a lovely backhand, but you don't know what's coming next from Davenport.
Yeah, a few cries of anguish, but it was out. Wasn't even close, that, to be honest. Clear space between ball and line.
Well, things are very tight. The crowd can feel it as well. I don't know, that is pretty close, Simon, look.
It does look close from that angle, I have to say.
I mean, everyone's on edge.
So after an hour and 38 minutes, it's a set all and a game all. Six aces from Molik. Appearances can be deceiving, but Molik seems to be coping with the heat and the stress at the moment better than Davenport. We shall see a lot of mileage left in this yet. And you'd know this as much as anyone, Joe. I mean,
Yes.
intense heat does affect the bigger, stronger players more. There's Davenport, 6'2.5", Molik just a smidgen under 6 foot.
Yes, it does. It really takes it out of you, and it's just not the legs, that it is your brain as well, and you kind of get a fuzzy feeling. It's difficult to be clear about what you're trying to do.
She nearly got very lucky with that miss hit. But for the first time, a feeling that I have that Molik can really win this match. But will nerves strike again as they strangled her in the first set?
Well, as long as Davenport keeps doing that, Molik won't have to do much. Molik again serving first in this set, so as long as she can hang on to her service games.
Davenport not playing well, and Molik looks still full of fizz and buzz, and all the energy in the world. The last 20 minutes have been all about Alicia Molik. Davenport really looks as if she's been in the wars, and really looks like this stifling heat is getting to her. Slip across to the Margaret Court Arena. We saw Patty Schneider take the first set against Natalie Deshey. Then we saw Deshey up in the second set, and here's how she finished the set off. The number 19 seed, conqueror of Anastasia Mishkina in the last round. And here, completing the second set. So that too into a deciding set. They've taken their heat break of 10 minutes and out again the opening game of the third set. Time called. Molik is out. Davenport walking very slowly right out there now.
Any seat for now, please. Thank you.
So no breaks so far in set number 3. Plenty of flow in that shot. There have been few occasions when it's been like that.
Well, that looked easy, and suddenly she's in control again.
Well, she had almost complete control in the first set. It was a mystery why it lasted as long as it did, but not since. Two brilliant double-handers. Well, that is a mystery. Where has she been for the last half an hour?
I've no idea. But suddenly everything's flowing and moving and striking the ball beautifully.
So 2 games all, a set all.
Well in control, Molik. She's putting in some very good first serves lately.
As you were saying, 7 aces now. First serve percentage up to 52. And suddenly the tennis is of the very highest order from both players. First time in the match it's been like this. Yes, really cracking serving from Alicia Molik. More thunderous cheers. 3 games away from the semi-final of the Australian Open. So there are 2 things here apart from the play out on court, the heat and the nerves, which affected her, no doubt about it, at the start here. She was nowhere really. How's she going to cope as she heads towards the finishing line? She was so strong at the death against Venus.
Yes, she really was, and I think it's crucial that she's serving first in this set. I really do. So if she keeps serving like that, and she's getting it up there over the 50%, but for me, she's looking more confident. But maybe, she had those break points, 4 break points in the first service game of Davenport in this set. How crucial was that for Davenport to just about hold on? But Lindsay will know that she has to play better if she wants to win this match right here.
Yes, I mean, she played superbly in that last service game. Was it an erratic, or is she going to go back to the pretty woeful form she's shown over the last 40 minutes or so, apart from that one game? Australia Day. Is it going to be a celebration here this afternoon? Now, nearly all the rallies are being won rather than lost.
Yes, it's good to see. First ace of this set for Davenport.
It's absolute mystery. Remember, just 10 minutes ago, she was serving double fault after double fault.
Yeah.
4 in a row. 9 aces now for Davenport. Superb serving. And it's a terrific match. Eventually.
Yes, well, nice to see for everyone. The last 3 games have all been one to love. Some good serving.
Australia Day today. Alicia Molik's birthday tomorrow. She'll be 24 years of age. Can you imagine what a birthday present she could get from this?
How many times have we seen that lately? Big first serve, comes in for the forehand.
Late call, not heard by many here.
Nice move up the court. And it is a mystery, Simon, why the timing from Lindsay is coming and going.
Can it last? The winners to errors count in this set will be pretty impressive. And it has no bearing on the 2 sets we've had. 9 aces now from Molik, 4 in this set. Sixth double. Quick return. And it's a big time now for Molik. Can she find the first serve? Davenport playing as well as at any stage in the match. No, it's away, but you got the feeling that it was Davenport who pressed and forced, and Molik succumbed. But Davenport, just when we were almost counting her out, she looked very severely weathered, has got it together, and now is 2 games away from another semi here.
The crucial thing, of course, in that game was from 30-15 up, Molik then did a double fault and then missed her next 2 first serves, and Lindsay was immediately onto them and returned them really consistently, deeply, and Molik just didn't move her feet enough, especially on that last point. And maybe it is the nerves creeping in so close, and you see that finishing line in such a huge match.
Well, Lindsay said it's all about this one more Grand Slam that she wants. That's why she's carried on.
Yep.
And maybe even for someone of her experience, it's all been a bit too much, because it obviously wasn't. I mean, I thought she was nearly in danger of burnout there through all the sun that we had and the extreme heat as well. But it wasn't that. 4 successive double faults, backcourt play that was a shocker, and suddenly she's snapped together and produced a run of really good play.
We would have thought, you know, Lindsay's been here enough in this kind of match to cope with all this, but, you know, she's only human, and it means so much to her.
Yes. And there's still plenty of work to do here, and the Aussies, 15,000 of them, will make sure she works extra hard. Four-three. Body language still not brilliant when she makes mistakes. I think it was body language early on in her career. There have been 2 periods of Lindsay's career.
Yes.
And in the first part, body language was awful. Was it long? Yes, it was. Oh, that's a shocking miss. She had it completely at her mercy. Davenport going the other way, short ball, climbed in. How could she miss it?
I actually thought the first forehand was very close.
Very close.
Second forehand was definitely out.
And Davenport given another gift. The shot that's looked a bit iffy, and sometimes the more time she's had to produce it, the more vulnerable it's looked.
Yes, because she got back the hardest shot from the bounce smash of Molik, and then that was the easiest one of the whole point.
32 unforced errors from Davenport now. Boy, was that needed. 11 aces. sure how confident she was. She gave it a very alarmed look back to make sure that she's a game away from destroying this Aussie dream of a first home winner for 27 years.
Well, the slice kept low.
And it was to that forehand. Haven't got a breakdown of errors, forehand to backhand, but the forehand errors from Davenport would be fairly prodigious. Got it right that time.
Yeah, they're actually quite horrible bounce smashes because you want to hit it really hard, but sometimes you can hit it out if you do that. She measured it well.
Molik into double figures on aces. Well done. Stayed right down with that. That's a lovely game to take into what could be the last game of the match. Will it be? We shall see. Molik's form has got better as this match has evolved. Lindsay's has just gone violently up and down, particularly on serve, so we can never be sure exactly what she's going to produce on serve.
No, I agree. I'm not entirely certain of this service game from Davenport, I have to say, but because of her experience in these big matches, you have to favour her to serve this one out. But at least, you know, what I was saying, Molik was serving first, so even though she's lost her serve, she can have a swing, she can have a go at this. And I think she will be pretty dangerous.
First serve so crucial. She's only dropped 3 points, Lindsay, this set when the first serve's gone in. Listen to the roars as Molik goes out now to try and retrieve this match and keep Australia Day with the flags flying. They still believe, and I'm sure she does. But how much confidence is Lindsay Davenport now? That's even more crucial.
Thank you.
Such a good point from Davenport.
Solid as a rock.
15.
Molik needs to get it away from that backhand. The slice really should have gone to the forehand side.
Match exactly 2 hours old. Here we go again. She's into double figures on double faults.
15 all.
Surely can't be another 2 or 3 in a row.
You sure?
No.
Yeah, it was out. Andreas Egli this time overruling in the Australians' favour, and gets a hearty round of applause for doing so. Yep. She was so gentle with that second serve. It was 73 miles an hour. Couple of side steps from Molik. And here are 2 break points.
Oh, one of the few forehands from mid-court we've seen her make lately.
What a struggle. So close to getting back in this, Molik. Second break point. Same again, but she missed it. That was even slower. Lindsay is just hanging on here. If this was 100 meters, she would be stretching for the line with not one more footstep left in her.
Again, missing that first serve is so crucial.
And if Molik could get the break here, you just feel that the force is with her. Third break point.
Ooh.
Backhand, which was such a hindrance early on, reappears.
But she did try and at least go for the forehand side.
David Taylor barking out the encouragement. How close and yet how far. No, it's wide. Davenport, which she doesn't do, pointed to Andreas Egli that it was wide, just in case he was ever thinking of overruling there.
No, but it was out.
Yeah.
I don't think Molik's questioning it. She's disappointed she missed it.
So after 2 hours and 4 minutes, it's here for Davenport. Match point. One first serve away from the semi-final. How brave. And she is the braver at the moment. Davenport again, bowling it in.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it was there to be hit, and you just have to make your mind up and follow it through. She doesn't go this way very often. It's normally the off forehand she likes to hit.
The slice worked. I didn't fancy the shot when I saw it, but it did the trick, and she's got a fourth break point.
Yeah, I think in the rally at the moment, the slower the better to Lindsay's forehand side, but on the second serve attack,
Lindsay gunned that serve.
How brave. Oh dear.
You just couldn't pick what's coming next.
No.
153 Ks, that second serve. The sheer will of the 15,000 here. Well, you just get the feeling it won't be denied.
And a backhand miss from Lindsay. Does she need her first serve now?
Break point number 5. Now, how quick? I'm not sure the crowd could take too much more of this.
She couldn't get it on the forehand side. It was another really good second serve from Lindsay.
This is mum and dad. What must they be going through? No! Well, it might have been out on the side, but Molik kept playing. Good on her for that. A 6th break point. Good to see her smile.
She's loving it.
Got it! Well, it's been such a crazy match, you'd never predict with any certainty. But it does seem likelier now that Molik can go on and win this. But we've seen so many twists and turns, I wouldn't predict anything.
But I don't think I've ever seen Davenport get so careful in a situation like this. She normally hits out.
What a battle. Already lasted more than the first 2 women's quarterfinals yesterday put together. No tie breaks, remember, in the 3rd set here. Oh! Under the severest pressure, she strikes gold with that backhand.
Well, we saw her pick up a shot against Venus Williams. She moved as well as that. Shows you all that hard work does pay off.
Yes, in this heat as well. Well, I counted Lindsay out once before at the start of this set when she was all at sea and she found something special. Can she dig deep and find it again? It's not looking likely, but she hasn't won 3 Grand Slams and fortune beyond dreams without turning things around.
Another fantastic serve from Molik. She's got it working this set.
Yes, she's dropped just 1 point when the first serve's gone in this set. Well, Lindsay guessed right, but there didn't seem a lot of conviction in her move across. And now Molik's a game in front, and Davenport will have to serve to stay in this match. And there is pandemonium here.
How exciting is this to get caught up in it? I mean, Alicia's grinning away because she just feels this from the crowd, and she is playing so well now. And again, she can just have a swing at this service game.
Well, it seemed that everything had conspired against her at the start. She was stricken with nerves, went a set down. It didn't seem likely, but now, as if a script has been written, and they're there to witness it, and it seems to be unfolding.
They are all on their feet, Simon. Isn't it incredible?
The golden girl on Australia Day. So what's Lindsay got in store for us now? Enough first serves. How will she play if the first serves don't go in? Serving to stay in it. Well, if Lindsay can pull this off from where she is now, I think it will rank as just about her best win.
Yes.
It may not win her a Grand Slam, but it might eventually.
Oh, how cool.
12th ace.
But of course, she knows that Molik wants to get round that backhand side, so there is a bit of a gap on the forehand.
And now there's a sureness that we haven't seen before. An 11th double. Great serving from Davenport. She does look very tired, but she found what she wanted there.
Yes, a very good game. She settled herself and she knew she had to get good serves in. And of the two, she is looking more tired. All hot and bothered, really.
Six games all, no tiebreak. A 119-mile-an-hour serve, ace number 11. Molik thought it was a tiebreak. Well, there you go. Never been in this situation before. No, you carry on serving.
Oh, what a recovery.
Yes, because she might have felt a little stupid.
Yes.
Very public mistake. But again, she smiled through it. And she's enjoying serving.
Yeah.
Beautifully timed shot from Davenport.
Super strike.
Moves so well to that forehand. Yeah, just jammed.
Yeah, big jump on the ball. Lindsay didn't read it at all.
Oh, outrageous. So daring. Davenport nearly got very lucky with her return, but Molik goes a game in front once more. Once more, thousands on their feet. And Davenport did look awfully tired in that last game.
Yes, she did, and she knows she's just under pressure every time she comes round to serve now. I really can't believe she didn't serve it out when she had the chance. She got very, very careful. And it's so sort of against her character, because she plays a type of tennis that she always goes for it. That's her game. But that's how she's feeling the pressure.
This is all very well. The cliche in situations like this is who wants it more, but sometimes you can want it too much. And I think that's what happened to Davenport there.
That is so true.
With all her experience, 28 years of age now, well over a decade at the top. Mum and Dad giving Alicia everything they can as she comes out below them now. Six, seven. Molik perhaps a little unlucky there. She had the ascendancy, probably heard it. A strangle call about, then quick correction. Yes, you sense that Davenport wants these rallies over quickly now.
Yes, she is definitely feeling it. Oh, that's a fantastic move. She's digging deep, because that was a good first serve, and this could have been so tricky.
One thought strikes me now. They've got to play a semi tomorrow, the winner of this. Not going to be in the greatest nick.
No, it's going to be tough to recover from this, yes.
But the one thing in their favour is that the person they'll meet, the winner of Daishi and Schneider, that's going all the way too.
Great game.
Yes, has served so well in this set. So 7 games each.
So not much between them now, really. If they're both serving at this kind of level, it's whoever can just catch hold of a couple of returns.
Some more new balls. Lindsay stopping as if the call had, it's like a bullet that has struck her. But it was long.
Yes, nice depth. And yet again, Alicia just gets stuck on that backhand side.
Immaculate play.
Well, Lindsay keeps bending over like this. She is feeling it, that's for sure. She's muttering away to herself.
This is a surprise. Molik's 7th double. Lindsay, mouth wide open, gaping. And now the sun's out in all its force. That's an amazing shot. At this time, after all she's been through.
Yes, to make the move to it as well. It was a second serve, remember, though, so it gave Lindsay a chance, but didn't she move beautifully to it?
Break point. It's been the set of the very highest quality, considering what they've been through, and considering the trough that they were both in at various points in the first 2 sets. They've just come together wonderfully well. It's been fantastic drama.
Serving away out of trouble.
9 aces in this set alone, 14 in all from Molik. Look at that. You can't separate them.
Just. It's no good asking, you just got to get on with it.
Is it in? It is.
It is.
I thought it might have been wide. But no complaints from Molik that time. Boy, didn't Molik defend well.
Yes, great pickup. But I'm sure Lindsay thought that was out as well, because she was actually took a couple of steps towards the chair. Very lucky to get away with it. That was lucky from Molik as well. A miss-hit backhand that lands on the line.
Terrific point from Davenport, but no joy. Physically drained. Mentally, I think probably very nearly at the end of her tether. But just instinct dragging her on and keeping her out there. She's got another chance. Second break point.
Yes, Molik's serve's not been firing as well this game. She's missed quite a few first serves.
Magnifique, la Hiroshi. Elle y est allée, c'est elle qui a pris les risques et l'a récompensé.
She's given herself a chance, Davenport. For all that she's feeling, she may be a game away from a quite miraculous victory here. And the crowd have gone deathly quiet. You can hear a pin drop right now. And Davenport leads 7-8 for the second time. She'll serve out for this.
Well. The last two Davenport service games, she's only lost 1 point, and that was on a double fault. She's just played her service games beautifully, served well, and been very relaxed about it. But of course, remember when she tried to serve for it last time, she got really careful. So Molik's just got to keep fighting here.
I just wonder now if she's so drained she couldn't feel nervous.
I think you're right. She is at the end of her tether. Not Molik. I think she's still got plenty of energy, but
yes.
Davenport will want the winners, that's for sure, this next game.
Praying for first serves, and she's praying for second serves. And there is some support for Lindsay as she goes out. I'm not sure she's hearing it. I'm not sure she's feeling anything, and she's probably almost completely numb right now. Chance for the semi. Serving for the match for the second time.
Oh, too good.
14 aces each.
This is fascinating.
It's all about first serve now, isn't it?
As soon as this second one comes in, look where Molik's standing ready for the forehand.
Molik lasting the pace, so much better than Davenport. Still feel out there, she's just got the ascendancy, but Davenport serve pries it away from her.
Oh, brilliant.
Incredible stuff. So confident. Didn't think twice about going for it. 2 break points.
Nearly The crowd are living every moment. And Lindsay, who's not got a lot of energy left, just calmly walks back to serve again.
I wonder if she's feeling she has to win it in this game. She's near collapse. What a super volley.
Well, what a champion she is to come up with a serve and volley at this point of the match.
And not an easy volley.
No.
2 points away. Just a fantastic forehand from Davenport. One that she's missed so many times in this match, but there, it's true, like an arrow to its mark. And here's a second match point. It's there, and she's hardly dancing a jig. Just totally relieved. It's over, I think. No celebration at all from Davenport. She just wants to get out of there. She dug probably deeper than at any stage in her career, but somehow she's overcome. Molik salutes the crowd. Weren't they great for her? But Davenport is through to the semi-final. But Molik has made herself a very big name in her own country.
Well, I'm glad the match lived up to expectations in the end, because they are two very fine tennis players, and what a great champion Davenport is. How she got through that, I really do not know, because she is hurting.
Total relief. No joy in the win at the moment. There will be later on,
Yes.
but none now.
She hasn't got the energy.
I just hope they don't have to interview her, because she can't come up with anything logical.
No.
Alicia Molik goes off, but she'll be back. She's proved herself here. A big experience, a learning experience, I think, for her. But she has done herself no harm at all. Her first Grand Slam quarter-final. It started with difficulty. She was very, very nervous, but she came through and provided us with a match we will savour for a long, long time. Two hours and 33 minutes. There are the stats. 14 aces for Molik, 43 winners, but still no victory. Davenport just too strong for her. Just an amazing win for Lindsay Davenport. And she's through to the semi-final, and will play the winner of Natalie Deishi and Paddy Schneider. And I don't know how she's going to feel in 2 days' time.
No, well, she has been there before, though, and done it, and she wants a Grand Slam badly. So I think she will somehow find it in herself to come out again.
So the dreams for Australia Day, part one of Count to Nothing. Leighton Hewitt on tonight against David Nalbandian. Can he advance through to his first semi here in the Australian Open? But it really was a quite extraordinary match, and we can hear below Lindsay is doing an interview, which we're not allowed to take here, but she's giving credit to Alicia Molik, yes, who has done herself no harm at all.
Well, she's saying what a great player Alicia is going to be. I think she already is a pretty good player, but congratulations, Lindsay. She was a bit overcome there, actually, with the effort and the energy she's put in.
Not a surprise.
Erleben Sie Snooker einmal anders. Das SMS-Forum live bei Eurosport. Was Sie schon immer über Snooker wissen wollten.